Many years ago, the young thunder god had finished fighting dragons, saved a village in Midgard from water beasts, and fended off a horde of trolls. Once done with his heroing, Thor returns to the Asgardian weapon vault. The hammer calls to him, he tells his mother. He swears. He moved it slightly. Frustration sets in, but his determination is like the thunder in his veins. It is endless. The All-Mother says that a hammer is just a hammer. There is only one thing that can make her son a better god. Only the heart that beats in his chest can do so. Now, it is time for bed, young god. Years ago, Asgard. Thor broods over his hammer. Jane Foster joins the room. She notices that the thunder god does this every morning. He sits there, just watching Mjolnir. Thor explains that being worthy is not eternal. Even gods can be afraid. His fear is that one day, he will grab his hammer only to find out that it will not budge. 9 months ago, the Odinson wallows in his self-pity. Shortly after, Jane Foster enters the room seeking the Thunder God. She informs the man she once loved for so long that a chunk of Uru doesn't make the man, in which he replies,
"Easy for you to say, Jane Foster. You've never held it."
Present day, the Odinson has fought his fair share of epic battles. He took on cosmic beings beyond any mortal's comprehension. But today, he fights for the one thing he truly craves, his worthiness. Joined by his comrades, Beta Ray Bill, the two gods carve their way through the Collector's minions. The Odinson will fight till he reaches his salvation. Elsewhere, the Black Swan attempts to lift the hammer, but she gets violently denied. The Collector isn't surprised, of course. If an Elder of the Universe cannot.
I've come for what is mine. Stand aside, or be ready to bleed.
Now, chaos erupts as the Odinson and his allies engage their foes. The son of Asgard goes head-to-head with Proxima Midnight, while Beta Ray throws his hammer at the Black Swan. Odinson's newest ally, Thori the Hellhound, has the mysterious figure in his crosshairs, and Tooth Gnasher's tenacity gives the Collector a run for his money. Odinson takes out Proxima and is on his way towards the one thing that is screaming to him. The ultimate hammer calls, and only the Thunder God can hear it. The hammer screams the same words over and over. Where is my Thor? Merely inches away, the Odinson can reach out his hands and he will grab Cold Hard Uru. But suddenly, Cold Hard chains binds the Thunderer. Tannelir Tivan got his goat tied up, and he is not willing to let his hammer go that easily. The hammer belongs to me, he states. You all belong to me. While being punished by the chains of the Collector, Odinson thinks back. He hasn't slept unless you call being beaten unconscious sleep. He hasn't heard his mother's comforting voice in months. Months without ale and a proper meal, except for whatever sludge the guards feed all of the Collector's pets. He is running on pure adrenaline. But you know what? That's all the Thunderer needs. He breaks free from his chains and releases his goat. Odinson charged directly at the Collector. Structures crumble in their wake, but the son of Asgard pays it no mind. It was a whisper that took him to his knees. He needs to be stronger than that whisper. Stronger than his enemies. Stronger than the unworthiness. He just needs the one thing. He needs a hammer. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Comic Island. My name's Joey, and holy cow, what an issue. Let's get into my review of the Unworthy Thor issue 4. There are too many good things to say about this issue, so let's just list out what stood out to me. The art is amazing. We got 4 different artists drawing for this one issue. I believe I've seen these 4 artists before in other Thor story arcs, but to have all these great artists drawing 4 different eras of Thor's life connects every story into one. Normally, the art styles act as a distraction depending on how the artist chooses to lay out the panels. But to have a treat of these 4 veteran Thor artists working on this one issue is just pure geek fan service. Fraser Irving, drawing the young Thor, connects his story to the current Thor series with Jane Foster. Olivier Coipel is the artist for the present-day Odinson in the past few issues. This satisfies my need to have one continuous artist for the entire story arc. Esad Ribic's art style connects us to the Secret Wars 2015 and the Thor God of Thunder, also by Jason Aaron. Then we get treated to Russell Dauterman's art in a scene where the Odinson is still going through his self-loathing. Let's go back to the Thor series where we follow the new Thor Jane Foster around. Same artist, same art style. Little attention to detail like this makes this issue that much better. I cannot say this enough. The art in this issue is just out of this world amazing. Oh, before we continue on, I just want to point out this one scene where he is still worthy, and yet we learn that Thor wakes up every morning just sitting there looking at his hammer, scared that today he might be unworthy. There's a sense of humbleness that we can take from the scene, and it makes me appreciate the character of Thor Odinson that much more. The next thing that stood out to me is the scene with Thor the Hellhound fighting the Hooded Man. I originally thought that the Hooded Man was Nick Fury Sr., now calling himself the Unseen. Same text bubble and the same dark cloak, but without the chains and the star in the eye. So as of right now, we don't know who this Hooded Man is who is helping Thanos, but Thor sees the man and says, "What are you doing here?" implying that he knows the man's identity. There is this one consistent theme of redemption and salvation that makes up this comic series. I think the one reason why we like this series so much is the fact that any one of us could have been in Thor's position. I'm not saying that we are thunder gods and we lost our magical hammer or anything like that, but the fact that we all have made a mistake in some form or another in our life, big or small, well, that's your story to tell. So to see a beloved character break down and hit rock bottom, then to see him crawl his way up just to reach the stature of the man that he once was, speaks volumes to me. It's no secret that comic book characters are a huge part of my life, so I can take this unworthy Thor story arc as a future lesson, that no matter how hard I hit rock bottom, I can always weather any storm and build my life to be what I want it to be. Alrighty guys, so what did you think about this issue, and can you relate to Thor's road to redemption? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to support us, I recommend checking out our Patreon page. The link will be in the description below. Thanks again, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time in another Unworthy Thor series.